That's when I remember who I am. I'm a black king, crown a little cracked up. Need a little trap queen, need to get my racks up. Wanna be on flat screens, don't wanna be passed up. Chasing this rap dream, please don't wake me back up. I backed up for a better view and bigger pictures. Focus on the future, I can sense the bigger ventures. My foresight, 2020 tunnel vision. Hindsight in the past, I pay little attention. My locks swaying as I'm walking to my goal. That's part of my crown, it symbolizes growth.
What is up, guys? This is episode 2 of the TeamCole show. I tried to record this the other day. I got it. I went to upload it, and for some reason, it just wasn't happening. So I don't know what I did wrong or what I need to learn to do better. But we're back. I'm going to do the same one, maybe even better. That's the plan. So let's try to do this even better than what I had it the last time. And let's start. So what I did is I went on Instagram and I asked you guys to ask me questions. It could be advice. It could be about my MMA career, my life, anything. And you guys sent me questions. And I'm going to answer 10 of them. There's 10 really good questions. And I'm going to answer those for you. So I'm going to go here. I got them in my notes. Let's see. Some good ones. Okay, so the first question is actually from like a childhood friend. I don't know if I'd call him a friend or a mentor. He was my neighbor when we was younger. He used to take us to the gorge, and if you guys don't know what the gorge is, it's like just like a wooded area, trail. He would do stuff like that with us when we were kids. So he's been keeping up with my MMA journey. So Tony, this is your question, and if I've never told you, I just want to tell you thank you. Thank you for all you did when we was kids. He said, who is your biggest influence that got you to where you are? And I'm glad that that's actually the first question because I love telling people exactly who my influences are. So first and foremost, my older brother, Jordan. I have more older brothers, but Jordan kind of took charge when I needed someone to boss me around. And he's we've had our fair share of fights and stuff, but he does a really good job of just keeping me straight, keeping me motivated, and that's my first real big influence. My second influence is my high school wrestling coach, Coach Shank, which all my school coaches were real good, including Coach Matthew Hamilton, awesome coach. But as far as like influence in my fighting career, I think that Coach Shank played a huge factor. And in life, he was really good when I was a kid, just connecting with me. Wrestling was my favorite sport. So a lot of early morning workouts. He led by example. He would work out with us. So as far as that goes, he was definitely a big role in my life, and I'm super thankful for him. And last but not least, my grandmother. For you guys that don't know the story about my grandmother, one day I may do a show just on my grandmother. Honestly, she is such a special individual in my life, my career, and all that stuff. So super thankful for her and what she did for me, my brother, and my sister. And just an amazing woman. She fought cancer while I was in high school. She still somehow managed to take care of us. An amazing woman. So those are my 3 influences, not the most influential people in my life. All right, the next question is from Jero. How awkward was it at first when you were getting used to the cameras all over the place in the house, or was it not awkward at all? No, super awkward, okay? Because you would be thinking that you're telling a secret, and then all of a sudden the cameras would be running in, and you'd be quiet all of a sudden because there's some stuff you just don't want in the public eye. So that was one thing that we definitely didn't get to do. A lot of us get comfortable because you never get used to that. You never want that. So it was super awkward, but it was crazy enough. When we got out of the house, I still had like some type of anxiety about saying something because my mic, a lot of times you say something, someone's listening, and those mics pick up everything. Clearly, y'all seen episode 1 of The Ultimate Fighter. Me drop the F-bomb. I was trying to whisper to Niall, trying to be motivational, and they heard it. They heard everything. So, those things pick up everything. Had to learn the hard way. The third question is from Joe Fisher. Hey Chandler, my question is, how unreal is the feeling to be among UFC legends, and how does it feel to be on the show you watched since season 1? Well, Joe, it's amazing. If anyone watched my pre-interview before we went into the house, I said that it was unreal to get to meet Forrest Griffin and stuff like that. He was out in the lobby. Actually, I didn't get to meet him then. I just seen him. And I seen him and just was blown away. I think that was probably one of the coolest things that really clicked in my head is, oh my God, like he was a part of season 1. Like I'm really here. This is really happening. And just, it was a blessing. And super fun experience to be around all the UFC fighters that I was around. They're kind of where I want to be. So to get to hang out with like really, really good role models for 6 weeks was amazing. It was amazing. So yeah, it was pretty unreal for sure. The next question is from Nate. He actually has 2 questions, so I'll answer each one separately. What is it like having Nunes as your coach for The Ultimate Fighter? And it was awesome. It was amazing. She is probably one of the most selfless people that you'll ever meet. She cares about her fighters. She loves us, and you could really tell that on the show. She interacted with us. She was like one of the fighters. She trained with us. She done a lot of cool stuff, and just the people that she brought with her as well. I couldn't ask for a better situation. I'm sure Juliana and her team had like kind of the same setup. Their team was actually kind of weird though, but that was because of who was on the team, not because of the coaches. I've talked to Juliana a couple of times. She's actually really down to earth, really cool. Super motivated too. She's a motivated person. But I think that as far as like the teammates go, we just really fit in with Amanda's personality, and it just called for a really, really good time. She's a really good person as well. And his next question is, what got you into MMA? And I'm glad he asked this as well, because I always answer this question and I never answer it correctly. I always leave stuff out, and so I'm going to try to answer it the best way possible. So when I was 17 years old, I went to an MMA fight, and I watched this guy win. And he kind of stood up, showboated, and I was like, I don't like that. I think my wrestling could beat this guy. Like, I don't know how to fight, but I think my wrestling's good enough to take him down and beat him up. So I messaged the matchmaker, and I said, hey, I want that guy. And he goes, well, he weighs 155. And I was like, I ain't weighed 155 in a while, in a hot minute. So I was like, probably not him then. I was like, all right, thank you for your time. So then some time passed. I graduated high school, and I got another call. And he asked me, he was like, hey, would you be interested in fighting? I was like, who's the dude? He sent me the dude. I looked at him. I was like, I think I could beat this guy too. He don't look that tough. I think I can beat him. So I took the fight. So I was training at the MMA gym anyways, getting ready for college wrestling. So I walk into the gym. I'm sitting on the mats. They just get done running. They come in, and I'm like, hey, what's up, Nick? Which is one of my first coaches ever. He was like, what's up, buddy? I was like, hey, guess what? I took a fight. And he was like, wow, the F would you do that? And I just thought that was so funny. And so that is actually how my first fight came about, was a matchmaker messaged me. I told him yes. I graduated high school, and a couple months later, I took my first fight on 2 weeks' notice. And don't be me. Don't do that, because a lot of people don't have the same wrestling background as me. So I wouldn't recommend that for nobody. Don't do that. Train first and then take a fight. Be prepared. If you have any type of potential that could put you to the next level, don't start off with a loss, because your ego is bigger than your skill set. Oh, and then I went off to college, had some family problems, came back home, and then I started fighting full time. So, but yeah, my first fight was actually before I went to college. It was awesome. The next question is from Brogan Walker, fellow teammate I love so much. She's super nice. I'm sure if you talk to her, she'll say she got on my nerves, but that's not the case. She just was trying to be my mom and was a great motherly figure, and we just butted heads a lot of times. But nothing but love for Brogan. She's awesome. What is next for Chandler? And I I think what is next is my fight. So we got to see what episode it is. What's next is I'm waiting on my fight to air. And then just go from there and just see what kind of rise to fame I might get. I may not get none. But I know this is, if you get the chance to watch it, you're going to be entertained for sure. Definitely entertained. But I'm hoping that after people watch my fight, I get a lot of followings and can really start focusing on maybe get some sponsorships, some endorsements, and really start trying to do this full time. I would love to really train and fight full time. That would be awesome. But I got a little girl that I got to feed right now. So right now that's just, I love the thought, but it'll have to happen in due time. The next question is from Garrison Savage. Was there a time in your career you wanted to give up? If so, what helped you overcome it? So in 2019, I actually told myself I was going to retire. I got, if you watch the film, I didn't get knocked out, but I did get knocked out. I don't remember anything from the fight. When I fought Keith Bell, he dropped me, was on top of me, pounding me for a month of Sundays, and the ref just let me take it. I was out. I don't remember nothing. The last thing I remember is just getting my hand raised. And, I definitely wanted to give up, and then went through like a real bad little time period, and started training again and got in really good shape, and just told myself, like, I think I can do this. I think that I just didn't give myself enough credit. I didn't work as hard as I should have. I held myself accountable, and that's really what brought me back. So super thankful for it. It sucks sometimes when you got to be real with yourself, but if you don't, then bad things happen. So super grateful for that, and grateful for the hard times. That baby mama of mine, she sure definitely created a bad memory jammer, let me tell you. So everything happens for a reason. The next question is from Richie Banks. If given a new, oh God, this one's a funny one. If given a brand new ballpoint pen, what kind of magic could you make? Listen, I'm not going to sit here and talk about the artist I am. I'm just going to show you guys. So here is just a small picture of just a couple of the things that I've done with a ballpoint pen, and I'll let you guys judge. I wouldn't say I'm Picasso, but I'm pretty close to Picasso. So here's these. Y'all check these out. Tell me what you think. Yes, and those were done with a ballpoint pen. So some of my better work, I really enjoy doing those. The next question is actually from another fellow teammate, and Claire Guthrie. That got me tongue twisted. And I'm not editing this. This is gonna be what it is. If you hear me get, tongue tied with some words, we're keeping it. You know why? Because I'm human. So Claire Guthrie, and her question is, what would you do differently knowing what you know now? I don't know if she's talking about in the house, or if she's talking about just my career in general. So I'm going to assume she's talking about my career. And if I could go back, I wouldn't change anything, because I think everything happens for a reason. And I've ended up in a really good spot. And I think that people know that I can fight, and people know that I'm an athlete. But if I could go back, I think the one thing that I would try to work on, and really pray and hope that I got the same results, was my ability to learn, my ability to want to be a student to the game. I was such a good wrestler that I didn't want to learn the game. I just wanted to wrestle for a long time. And if I could go back to when I was 18, I would really try to become a student. I think that's super important for young athletes, is just to realize that you don't know it all. And I try to tell my high school students this. For you that don't know, I'm actually the head wrestling coach at Eastside High School. Go Spartans. But I tell my athletes, don't ever stop learning. You're not the coach. You're not the teacher. It's two things. You're neither one of those. You are the student. And I think that's super important, is when you realize that you're the student and you place yourself in that category, and you hold yourself accountable to be a student, to never stop learning. And if I could go back in my career, it's one thing I would really try to work on. The next question is from Hayden Ferguson. And at first when I read this, I was like, I can't answer that. But I think I can. Because it's things that either people don't know about the show or they do know about the show. But it's nothing that happens on the show. So I shouldn't get in any trouble for this. And if I do, then you'll find out because I'll make a podcast about it. What is the worst part about being on Tough? And what is the best part about being on Tough? So the worst part was by far taking their phones. They take your phones so that you're forced to kind of interact with each other. And that wasn't bad. I'm super, super interactive with everybody. I talk to everybody. I could talk to this wall if I had to. I could really talk to this wall. But the worst part was probably not getting to talk to my little girl. And that was really hard. But having Amanda and Nina have their little girl Reagan there, that definitely helped a little bit. Just when she walked through the door for the first time, my eyes lit up because my little girl's a little bit older than her, so it kind of just put me back in like how she used to act. And just my little girl's a huge part of my life too. Just as far as like with everything that I went through, she truly was the only person I felt like I did have at the time. And I had a lot of people, but that was my person. And it made me a lot better of a dad, and just, it was awesome. And what's the best part about being on Tough? Definitely the request list. I don't know if anyone's ever told you this, but the request list is basically a list. You write on it, and then the next day it's there. So, like, say I want, like, a steak, I'll write that, and then the next day steaks would be there. So, I grew up on food stamps, and right now I'm balling on a budget. So, to be able to write whatever I wanted down and the next day it'd be there was amazing. I think that's one of the coolest things about being in the Ultimate Fighter house, was just having access to whatever you wanted at the time. And the last question is from Caitlin Neal. And this is I know where she's going with this, but I'm probably not going to answer it because I loved my whole team. So she asked, who was your favorite person in the house, guy and girl? Team Nunes was tight. I loved all those guys, all those girls. It was really like a bunch of brothers and sisters. I know people had... As far as our team goes, no, we were tight, and I love just being around those guys, and I still talk to them every day, and they might as well be family. So my favorite people was my team, and there's a couple on Team Pena, but I ain't gonna answer that yet. I don't want to spoil nothing for y'all. So, but big heart goes out to all of them. Ooh. That's awesome. My buddy just messaged me. I should have turned my phone on silent though. I'm gonna work on that. But no, guys. So that's all the questions. Caitlin, I'm not answering that because you all were awesome. But this is take 2 of episode 2. I think I got it. I think I did everything better than I did the last time. I think I'm talking better. I think I delivered better. And this is 2 of many. This is just episode 2. And I plan on doing a lot more. And the more I do these, the more I want y'all to kind of get to know me. And I want to get to know my fans. That's the biggest thing about this, is just meeting people. I love interacting with people, meeting people, and getting to really learn people's backgrounds and just venturing out, man. I'm from a real small area, and the one thing that I love about traveling is it's really made me open-minded about a lot of things. So that's the one perk about doing what I'm doing, and I love it. I wouldn't trade it for nothing. So, guys, this is episode 2 of the TeamCole show. 2 of many. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. If you like what I'm putting on there, then, let me know. Post them in the comments. Tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want the next episode to be. Whether it be, a topic going on in the world. If you want me to give my advice or give my opinion on something, let me know. Drop it in the comments. And make sure to hit that subscribe button. I love you guys. Thank you for everything. And TeamCole, we're out, baby.
As I'm walking to my goal, that's part of my crown. It symbolizes growth. I made my mistakes, I'm minimizing those. I hope people listen, don't just memorize some quotes. We came a long way from slave ships, whoa. Took a foreign land that we made that home.